Let's bring him in. He's my good friend, Dr. Joe Congini, Sports Medicine Center at Akron Children's Hospital with us. And Joe, where do you want to start this morning?
Hey, Ray, I saw something this week, and I think this is really good for young school-age, teenage athletes. It's just one of my major concerns at this stage in my career, and I've been at this a while, are some of the mental health issues in our school-age and teenage population. And just this week, on Friday, the 7th of July, just this week, there was a House bill passed where there is going to be mandatory mental health training for coaches. There's legislation that passed in Ohio. We are the first state in the United States to have this. Remembering back to when we passed the concussion legislation, the House bill that I got a chance to work on in 2014, gosh, that's almost a decade ago. We were down the list of many other states, but we're the first state to have this, and I'm really excited about it. One of the closest relationships that a lot of these athletes have is with their coaches, and the coaches know their kids so well in a lot of situations, and they know when issues are not right. And so this thing kind of passed without a lot of fanfare, but we're excited about it, and we're not trying, again, just like when we passed the legislation about concussion and then the heart legislation for coaches' education as well, not trying to make them mental health experts by any means in coaches. Coaching's tough enough as it is, but just knowing what might be the signs if one of your athletes seems like they're struggling with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and, of course, what we worry about the most, which is going up all the time, is suicide. And so recognizing the warning signs, the red flags, that's really what we're looking for, similar to the red flags that we look for head injury and cardiac and heart issues. I've noticed myself, there's no question that this has been increasing. I've been getting calls that I never got in my career, in 30-some years. In the last 4 or 5 years, I've gotten at least 5 or 6 calls, and a lot of times you get these calls from worried coaches on weekends or at midnight or something like that. And in a lot of situations, it's just where to go to find the right help as quickly as you can. And that's really what this legislation is geared toward, is recognition. Just, do I have something that I'm worried about? Who can I go to if I do have these types of issues? Even with somebody like me, I'm not at all versed in how to treat kids that have these types of issues. Geez, probably my son that's in medical school that's taking a rotation in psychiatry right now has more information on it than me. But I am able to help them find the right help. But my only concerns, Ray, about the legislation, it kind of snuck up even on me without a lot of fanfare, is, number one, we have to do a really good job writing the education program. The coaches are busy with a lot of things, and we don't want to make this overly cumbersome for them, but we do want to get the information across for them. So we need some of the better sports psychologists that work with kids helping write this education program. And secondly, we need to continue working in the state of Ohio and all the states in the country. From what I understand, there's such a shortage of people that work with young people with mental health issues. And many times in our office, we try to get people connected, 2-week waits, 4-week waits, 6 weeks waits to get them in to see somebody for the initial evaluation. And so we need to know what's urgent and what are urgent places that we can get kids in. And we need to keep working in the medical field to make it so that there are enough people available. This crisis has just exploded, as you know, and we need more people to help kids in this area. And so those are my only concerns. But overall, I'm strongly supportive and happy about finding that we have House Bill 492 that passed this past week in the state of Ohio. First one in the country.
With us is Dr. Joe Congini, Sports Medicine Center at Akron Children's Hospital. And, Joe, it's a real hot weather week. If you don't mind me asking, I was reading a story last night and talking about the controversy on these new advanced sports/energy drinks with all this caffeine in them. And You know, you and I think of sports drinks as Gatorade and some of the other ones, but now they're almost overlapping between energy and sports drinks. And there's a lot of question marks and concerns about these high caffeine / energy drinks.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that is another concern, Ray, without question. And many of these have the amounts of caffeine of 2 cups of coffee, 3 cups of coffee, the energy drinks and are significant concerns with kids exercising in the heat, with the issues of we're already pushing the cardiovascular system, the heart, blood vessels, are pushing the cardiovascular system about as hard as we can be pushing it. And thank you so much for bringing that up as an issue of knowing the difference between rehydrating solutions, like you mentioned before, and starting with water and following if you're going to be in the heat for longer periods of time, maybe getting into some of the drinks that have electrolytes in them to rehydrate our athletes versus the types of drinks that you're talking about that are energy drinks with high levels of caffeine. So that's a very, very important point that we need to know about at this time of year.
And, Joe, that can work conversely, right? If you're talking about these energy drinks with the high levels of caffeine and working out in this high heat, it can really work against these individuals and, as you mentioned, really put some stress on organs and, in particular, the heart.
No question about it. And all you have to do is go down a couple floors from my office to the cardiac unit, and there are many kids who get in there, and they will go into abnormal heart rhythms and issues in the heart that people just do not want to be messing around with. And so a lot of times parents leave some of this up to their kids themselves, but this is one situation where we have to take the bull by the horns, so to speak, and make sure that you're knowing what your kids are purchasing out there, drinking out there, getting into, and really, really trying to avoid having the kids having any energy drinks or any of the stimulants because they already are highly stimulated and practicing at this time of the year.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. Joe, thank you so much, my friend. Good talking sports medicine again with you, and we'll do it again next week. Thank you, my friend.
Sounds great, Ray. Have a great week. Thanks.
You got it. Dr. Joe Cangini, Sports Medicine Center, Akron Children's Hospital, on board with us this morning.